It's never too early to start planning for your estate, and you have the option to view our complimentary workshop, both in person and online. Visit GoRhodes.law.com to get started. We're here for you and your family at Rhodes Law Firm.
You're unique. Your insurance should be too. Call Blanchard & Calhoun Insurance.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The weather this morning didn't stop everyone from getting out and celebrating Easter with egg hunts around the CSRA. A look at the events returning after COVID put an end to so many holiday events over the last couple of years. But first, police in Columbia say multiple people have been injured in a shooting at Columbiana Center Mall just off Interstate 26. Officials say the first call came in around 2 o'clock this afternoon. In just the last hour, Columbia's police chief spoke with reporters about what they know so far about the shooting.
12 injured, no fatalities. I repeat, no fatalities. 10 suffered gunshot wounds. 8 were transported. 2 self-reported to area hospitals. Of the 8 gunshot wounds, 2 are in critical but stable. 6 are stable.
Chief Holbrook says 3 people found with guns are now in custody. Police do not believe this was a random shooting, but rather that the people knew each other. Law enforcement have been evacuating people who found shelter inside those stores. All right, and passing it over to Mikkel with our first alert weather. Mikkel, I know a lot of people are probably, hopefully, going to be enjoying Easter tomorrow, so what's our outlook?
Well, we do have the chance for some rain, unfortunately. Luckily, some of that rain is going to be centralized and more heavy after the midday hours, so those early church services may be able to squeeze some of those out without getting too wet. But we're tracking lots of cloud cover for us this afternoon for your Saturday. The day before Easter, you can see that cloud cover blanketing most of the southeast. As far as radar, one light shower earlier passing through just south of Sparta, but outside of that, we have stayed mostly dry after the round of rainfall we did see that move through earlier this morning before midday. A look outside of our studios, and we are seeing lots of cloud cover again, just like we saw on visible satellite. Those temperatures right now, right around 72 degrees. That wind is a little breezy out there out of the west-northwest at about 12 miles per hour. Around the CSRA, we're seeing those temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s, and even some mid-70s hanging on around places like Waynesboro and Burke County. As far as temperatures for tonight, those will be getting down towards the mid and upper 50s. A few locations possibly in the low 60s. We'll talk more about those rain chances for your Easter Sunday coming up in the full forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Mikkel. Easter was one of the first holidays to be affected by the pandemic back in 2020. 2 years later, we've seen a lot of things start to thankfully return to normal. Our Craig Allison joins us now with how some of today's events. Craig?
That's right, Celeste. Although the CSRA had a rainy start to Easter weekend, that didn't stop the festivities. Some of the early morning events were canceled, but by mid-afternoon, families were out and about scrambling for eggs.
From private community venues to Patriots Park, people were excited to celebrate their first Easter in years without COVID restrictions. Besides hunting for eggs and getting pictures with that Easter bunny, there were food trucks, princesses, and even searching for eggs underwater. A thrill for families, but especially the kids.
We picked up a lot of Easter eggs. Yeah. It's the same Easter bunny we picked a picture with at a store. It's the same one here. I wanted to get a golden egg, but I didn't take my time to look for golden eggs.
No golden eggs, but I'd still say everyone had a lot of fun. Patriots Park had cars overflowing onto Columbia Road, but I'll have more on these festivities tonight on News 1211.
All right, thanks so much, Craig. Community is asking for help finding a runaway teen from Aiken County. This is Ariel Anstedt. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office says she was reported missing yesterday around 5 o'clock in the evening. We've reached out for more details, and we're still waiting to hear back. If you see Ariel, you're urged to contact the Aiken County Sheriff's Office at the number there on your screen. It's also listed on our website, wrdw.com. Police have arrested a man in connection to a robbery at a Georgia gun range that left 3 family members dead and about 40 guns missing. The GBI and Grantville police announced Christian Muse was taken into custody and charged with 3 counts of malice murder in connection to that incident. Just over a week ago, the owner of Lock, Stock, and Barrel shooting range, Tommy Hawk Sr., his wife Evelyn, and their grandson Alexander Luke were found dead inside the business.
Tommy taught me Sunday school, and Evelyn led the children's choir for me when I was a kid. That was the kind of people they are. Sunday school teachers, choir directors, church pianists, lovely people.
Their family held a funeral for them in Grantville earlier this week. In addition to local police, the GBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, they were all involved in that investigation. This week, people are recovering after a duplex exploded overnight in Virginia. You can see where part of that building is destroyed. Neighbors say they could feel the explosion rock their own homes. The city manager says one person had to be airlifted to a trauma center, while the other was sent to a local hospital. Both are said to be in critical condition.
There are no additional victims. There is some minor damage to other duplexes, but nothing significant.
Officials are still trying to figure out what caused the blast, but say so far there doesn't appear to be any criminal activity involved. A North Carolina police officer is in the hospital following a head-on crash with what officials believe to be a drunk driver. Officials say the other car crossed over the center lines and hit 2 cars, one of them being a local sheriff's lieutenant. Both the officer and suspected drunk driver were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It's not clear if authorities plan to press charges. The city of New York honored the public transit workers who helped save lives during Tuesday's New York subway shooting. Videos and images of panicked subway riders escaping the train have been all over social media this past week. A federal judge ordered the suspect, Frank James, to be held without bond for allegedly carrying out that shooting that injured almost 24 people. At least 10 people were shot, but fortunately, no one was killed in that attack. In just about an hour, St. Stephen's Ministry will be holding their big fundraising event tonight, a Vogue Gala. That kicks off at 7 p.m. at 600 Broad. It's going to feature live performances, a silent auction, and even drag queens. The money raised will fund grants to help serve those affected by HIV or AIDS.
We don't have enough of that education with that here, so we need more of that. And that's what this event is about. This event is to raise awareness about the need for that, our current state, what we can do to improve it, and that's why we're going to be giving our money away to these community resources that will attack those issues.
Again, that event is starting tonight at 7 o'clock at 600 Broad. And today, the Augusta Canal Authority had their Canal Discovery Day, their first one since the start of the pandemic. There were live performances, food trucks, and tons of activities for the kids. The event is a way for the Canal Authority to encourage people to check out everything they have to offer. And though the event hasn't happened since the pandemic began, they say traffic on the canal has been far from slow.
During the pandemic, the canal trails exploded. I mean, people were out using the trails like no other because they were wanting to use an outdoor retreat. So we want to celebrate all that, and we want to show folks that we have the Discovery Center down here as well, and the boat tours and different ways to support us as well.
Well, if you missed today's event, no worries. You can always visit the canal. They have boat tours Tuesday through Thursday. And if you're looking for something even more special than that, they actually do moonlight boat tours. That's going on until June. Mikkel?
Sounds like a lot of fun for sure. Unfortunately for your Easter Sunday, things could get a little bit soggy, especially tomorrow evening into your Monday morning. We'll talk more about that coming up next.
Life isn't a video.
The Coachella Music Festival is back, baby, after 2 years of pandemic silence. The festival is once again attracting a huge crowd from all over the world. With a music lineup that includes Billie Eilish, Harry Styles, and The Weeknd, the next 2 weekends should be a desert party everyone has been hoping for since 2019.
Being in quarantine, you can do things socially and be safe, but nothing like this. This is like the next level. Everyone has the same mindset of just, we're here to have fun.
Love the outfits there. Organizers are not requiring COVID tests, face masks, or proof of vaccination. I love those outfits, Mikkel. I love it.
They're different.
Well, while they're doing partying and it looks like beer pong this weekend, a lot of other people might be celebrating Easter with their families. So a lot of people here locally are probably wondering what the weather is going to be like. So what are we looking at for that?
Well, unfortunately, outdoor plans tomorrow afternoon and evening, the weather's not looking ideal. We're talking about the chance for some showers and storms, and that'll be lasting into our Monday morning. So the earlier part of Easter is looking like the most dry part of the Easter day tomorrow before we do see those rain chances jump up pretty significantly heading into the latter part of Easter. But right now, looking at visible satellite, you can see lots of cloud cover across the southeast in general, especially the CSRA. Just a blanket of cloud cover pushing in out ahead of our next front that'll be pushing through late tonight into tomorrow as well. As far as radar, we're not seeing much of any rainfall on the map right now, so some good news for any evening plans that you may have for your Saturday. But as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, things will be changing. A look outside of our studios, and we definitely see those mostly cloudy to overcast sky conditions outside of our studios. Temperatures right now still in the 70s despite all that cloud cover. We're seeing a west-northwest wind at about 8 miles per hour, so at times it was a little bit breezy for today, but not overly breezy. As far as temperatures around the CSRA, some upper 60s now around Lake Thurman, Washington, also Thompson. As we slide further east and south across the region, we still see some of those low to mid 70s hanging in there for your Saturday evening. As far as the hour-by-hour forecast, those temperatures will fall slowly into the 60s, so a mild to cool night in store, and then maybe the chance for an isolated shower as we head overnight into tomorrow, but most of us should stay dry. As far as temperatures for tonight, will be in the mid to upper 50s, even some low 60s may be hanging around thanks to that cloud cover that we are expecting to stick around overnight into tomorrow. Then we'll see those rain chances for your Sunday, also into Monday as well, and then a drier work week ahead once we do move past Monday of next week. We do have a flash flood risk for tomorrow evening through Monday morning, as some heavy rainfall will be possible in our the western CSRA has a slight risk actually for some of that flash flooding, so a little bit more of an elevated risk there. As far as the severe outlook for tomorrow, a very extreme southern portion of Emmanuel County under that marginal risk, but for tomorrow, the chance for some general thunderstorms, but severe weather looks to be at a low threat for your Easter Sunday, so some good news there at least for Easter. As far as your hour-by-hour forecast overnight to tomorrow, most of us should stay dry. We'll see temperatures in the 50s, if not low 60s by tomorrow morning. Cloud cover does stick around, maybe a few breaks in those clouds around lunchtime for Easter. So the first half of Easter does look pretty dry. Those early morning services should not be in jeopardy, but an isolated shower is possible before midday. After midday, those rain chances do go up pretty considerably. Most of us get to near 80 for high temperatures tomorrow, but the chance for some thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall in general will be possible as we head throughout your Easter evening into Monday as well. And then moving past midday Monday, those rain chances do slowly go down. As far as what we're thinking for Monday, we'll have a coastal low working through in our American model and European model, both showing the indication of that heavy rainfall. Those totals could get in between about 1 to 2 inches as we head throughout your Monday. So again, it will be a pretty soggy evening once we do get past midday tomorrow all the way into Monday. So have that umbrella handy for any plans you have tomorrow evening and also Monday morning going to work. But the forecast does dry out and those temperatures back in the 80s by Thursday.
All right, thanks so much, Mikkel. Still ahead, we stopped by a birthday party for a veteran now celebrating his 100th birthday. That's coming up next after a very short break.
Don't get bit.
Services.
Watch 1226 on your side, wherever you go.
Getting to be 100 years old is something that many people will never get to experience. But for one local man, his big day has arrived. Our Brittany Foster shows us how friends and family helped him celebrate.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
One big celebration for one man who reached a major milestone. Meet Arthur Gay, the Georgia native who just joined an elite club of members who live to see 100 years old.
Happy birthday, Papa.
And with the help of his friends and family, he had a party to commemorate the occasion. even one of his best buds drove all the way from Texas just to be there.
I told my husband sometime back, I said, as soon as Mr. Judson turns 100, we're going to Georgia for that party.
Gay has 4 children, 5 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. They say he deserves to be celebrated.
Eddie's been a great leader for us. His service in the military, we've grown up with knowing and understanding and appreciating his service in World War II.
And he is also serving up some advice to anyone who may be wondering how he lived such a long, healthy life.
Well, just take one day at a time and not worry about tomorrow.
In Augusta,
Happy birthday, dear Papa. Happy birthday to
I'm Brittany Foster on your side.
Those stories never fail to put a smile on my face, and great advice there, just take it a day at a time. The vandalized Jackie Robinson marker at his birthplace in South Georgia is now on display in Kansas City. It's a part of an exhibit at a museum focused on a baseball league for black players. Yesterday marked the 75th anniversary of Robinson breaking color barriers in Major League Baseball back in 1947.
His first step as a member of the Brooklyn Dodgers carried the exact same kind of euphoria that we saw when Neil Armstrong did indeed land on the moon. At least it did for Black America.
The marker was hit by gunfire last year in Cairo, Georgia. A new marker has been replaced, and the old one will stay in Kansas City as a reminder of Robinson's legacy. The first ever Champions Cup continues in Abilene, and one local community member brought back some bling for the weekend. Alyssa Lyons has your sports coming up next.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Spring is a time for new beginnings, and today that proved to be especially true for the national champions as they hit the gridiron for G-Day. Football is back at Sanford Stadium. Stetson Bennett looking to prove that why he deserves that starting job. Kendall Milton breaks through and finds them in the end zone. Black goes up. Then Bennett again, really just diving in there. He finds the lead with Gilbert. Black sends them on top and takes it home 26-23. And though it's just the beginning, there's a long road to another championship.
Got a lot of good football players here today. Got a lot of good football players leaving too, and got a lot of good football players on the field. So I was excited about that. Really pleased with some things in the kicking game, and we've got a long way to go before we get where we need to go. But that's the objective. I was really proud of the competitive nature the guys played with today.
The first of its kind professional disc golf championship continues in Abilene today. Round 3 field leaders just starting to wrap up. Richard Wysocki sitting at 27 under par, with Chris Dickerson and Calvin Heinberg close on his heels at 26 under par. The fourth and final round finishes up tomorrow. The Braves brought home the bling, and now one local community member is showing off her ring. Adi Franza joined the Atlanta Braves team last May, and after a whirlwind season in her first year, she finally has the accessory to prove why that team is more than just the players on the field.
You are a part of this team. You know, the Braves we're a family there. From the fans to the team on the field to everyone in the front office, we made it. We're a whole team that won the World Series, so they were like, we want to take care of you.
At 11, hear more of her story, but until then, Mikkel, what's coming our way?
Well, thank you for that, Alyssa. As far as low temperatures for tonight, we'll see those in the mid to upper 50s, maybe some low 60s sticking around as well, with some cloud cover hanging out overnight into tomorrow. Do watch out for some fog as you're heading towards those sunrise services. That fog could be dense in some areas, especially western parts of the CSRA and also southeastern parts. We're tracking the chance for some flash flooding tomorrow, on top of a chance for some storms for your Easter Sunday evening into Monday as well. Check out those temperatures on Monday, though, dipping down to near 60, so a very cool and gloomy day in store for your Monday. By Tuesday, we see things clearing out and those temperatures back near 80 by Thursday.
Alrighty, thanks so much for joining us. Here's a quick look at some giant pandas who got a sweet treat today at the Washington, D.C. National Zoo. Catch us back here at 11 p.m. We can't wait to see you. More news and weather. Let me tell you what happened to me.